Hello, I'm Margie Roy from 3dcuts.com and I'm doing a tutorial on how to assemble my Springtime Robins shadow box. I've made a lot of shadow boxes in the past and this one has a few different features about it. Like many of my shadow boxes, there are 4 internal layers. Cut out of each is the number to help you. 1 is the one closest to the front, 4 is the background. But on this one, I have a 5th layer and it is C, it is the cover. This is to provide a matte-like finish. It's optional, but it is something new in this shadow box. On this one, all of the items get inserted into the frames. There's nothing that got cut out with them. We're going to start with frame number 4. I use the dotted score lines to fold on. Frames 2, 3, and 4 are inside frames. Fold all the edges. For frame 4, I use score tape, and I put 2 pieces on each corner, fold them up, and adhere them squarely. Box 1 gets folded away from you. There's box 1. Boxes 2 and 3 both get folded to the back, and on these they are held in place by the number 4 frame, so you don't need to put as much adhesive on it. I just use glue dots and I put 1 in each corner. There's the number 3 layer. Do the same with the number 2 layer. There's the number 2 layer. The number 3 layer goes inside of the number 2 layer, space between them. I turn them over and I use Scotch tape to tape the bottom edges together. I take about a 2 to 3 inch piece, put it right here, match up those edges, fold it over and tape it in place. I do that on all 4 sides. There. Now, on the number 4 piece, the background piece, whatever you choose for a background color gets adhered to the back. I have made a light blue watercolor wash. I just wet the paper down and took some watercolors and blended them in. I let the paper dry and then I pressed it overnight. I like to use spray adhesive on the back because I want the entire thing to be attached to the back side. This piece of paper was cut to 6 1/8 inch square. You can use any number of different kinds of paper, gradated paper, printed sky paper, bright color paper. It all depends on what kind of effect you want with your shadow box. Now on this shadow box, the details were all cut out separately in white cardstock. I then took my watercolors and did light watercolor washes on all of the white cardstock pieces. Didn't have to be that way. I could have used black and had them silhouetted against the sky if I wanted to do that. On this shadow box, I want the various branches to travel from one layer to another. For instance, this largest branch is going to start behind the first layer, go to the second layer, and then attach to the third layer. In order to do that, my layers must be set to go. So I'm going to take these two and put them into the number 4 layer and affix them in there. The way I do that is I take score tape and I run it a piece about 3 inches long along the front edge of all 4 sides of the number 2 frame. You don't want to do it in the corners because then it's hard to get out. And this is plenty of adhesive to hold it in place. Okay, take frames 2 and 3 and put them inside frame 4. Then take your tweezers and reach in, grab the backing on the score tape, and pull it out. Make sure the frames are all the way down and adhere the side wall to the inside frames. Repeat this on all 4 sides. Like so. Frame 1 is going to be placed over these and glued in place as well. I am going to put score tape again in the middle section of each of these, but this time toward the back. So take the score tape, cut a 3-inch piece, roughly, and place it near the back on each of the 4 sides. Now put frame 4 over it. Turn it over again using your tweezers. Peel off the score tape and adhere the side. Okay, layers 1, 2, 3, and 4 plus the background are all together. Okay, let's put that aside and let's work on the nest with the baby robins in it. For this, I'm going to use some pop dots. I have some small 1/4-inch pop dots and I want to put them behind the baby robins so that they stay a little bit above the back of the nest, and I'm going to put them behind the center of the nest so that bows up in front as well. I want to get some dimension in the nest here. So let's start with the baby robins, and on the back of each of them I am going to put a tiny little 1/4-inch square pop dot. I can peel those and I will position them so that their heads extend above the back rim of the nest and attach them there. The front of the nest is going to go on here. I will put a couple of pop dots positioned on the front of the nest in the center area so that they do not show from the front. I will then put a couple of glue dots along the outside edges because I want those to meet with the back of the nest. So 2 foam dots and 4 glue dots. And let's position that and press that in place. And so we've got a nice little bowing here of the nest and some nice dimension there. Now let's prepare the mother robin. There is the front wing and tail and head, the back, and the little worm. This part I am going to cover with art glitter glue. I am choosing to use that at this location because it stiffens the bird up as well as serves as an adhesive. It's okay to leave a gap here to provide a little dimension and to leave a gap in the tail to provide some three-dimensionality to the tail feathers as well. I'm then going to take a pair of scissors and snip a straight line in the beak. Into that is where we will hang the worm. It goes from the front to the back, like so. I'm going to put just a dot of glue under there to hold it into place. Now it's time to start applying the various details to the different levels of the shadow box. First of all, I'm going to take the largest branch. This is the one that the robin's nest will be on. It is going to get positioned about like this. This tab is going to go behind the front of layer 1. This tab is going to go behind layer 2, and this tab is going to be off in the distance behind layer 3. So I'm going to put score tape on the front of all 4 of those tabs. I'm going to start by peeling the first one, and it is to get positioned so that when these over here get stretched out, we do not see them. So right there, press it into place. I'm going to take the last one, the tallest one here, and put that behind layer number 3. And press that in place. And this one is going to go behind layer number 2. So peel that one. Position it and press it into place. This branch is going to hang outside of the other shadow boxes. The second largest one has the branch that the robin is going to sit on. It gets positioned right behind here. It is going to go back a layer, and then this is going to go all the way back and be attached to the blue background. So I will put score tape here and over here. Peel the score tape off the base here. Get this positioned right behind the trunk of the other branch. Squeeze it into place there. Make sure that this one will go behind this frame over here. It's not going behind the first one. It's going to go back one so that it goes in behind number 2. Make sure we cannot see it from the front, and then squeeze it into place. Okay. Then we're going to want to put a glue dot behind each of these leaves and a half a glue dot behind the branch there. Those in position and press them into place. And here I'm going to cut a glue dot just into a sliver. Put it on the back there, and again attach that to the background. Now the third branch goes up here. It starts from behind row 3 and goes off to the sky. Like so. So the top ones here will get attached to the background, and this one will get attached behind row 3. Oops. So score tape on the front here. Come in and underneath all the layers, so it's in the back there. Think about where these leaves are going to fall up here. The distance robin is going to be on that one. I'm going to take the tail end of my tweezers and get in there and press that up in place. Then I can follow with my fingers and firmly pinch it in there. Okay, and now we'll take another small glue dot, put it on the back side of a couple of these leaves up here. And attach those to the backdrop. Now that you have made your bird's nest and your robin and your papa robin, we are now going to put these into the shadow box as well. The bird's nest gets attached in this branch of the tree. It will get adhered to this branch, and I have stacked 3 pop dots to the back side of it, which are going to stick back here to the back wall and help hold it firmly into place. First, a piece of score tape here on the branch. Okay, peel the score tape. Position your nest, attach it to the branch, and press it against the back wall. There. Now the robin is also going to have a stack of 3 half-inch square pop dots applied behind it in a place where you cannot see it. We're going to attach that to the back wall and use glue to glue the legs very carefully to this branch. Put a little bit now I'm going to position this so that where's my tweezers? You want that one there and this one down here. It's going to take me a few minutes to get it to stick. There we go. It's starting to get tacky now. The last detail is the other robin, and it's going to be perched right here on this branch off in the distance. I am going to put a couple of glue dots, I think, on it because I want it to have a little dimension away from the background. And there's a second glue dot right on top of the first to give it a little more distance. Then carefully take this guy, get him on the branch back there, and attach him to the back. Let's go back and check these and make sure they're sticking. Looking good. Okay, the last piece for this shadow box is applying the cover, the sea layer. It should be in a contrasting color, and it's going to get positioned right like this so that there is a matte-like white frame before we come to the black border. If you are going to hang your shadow box, you're going to want to put the hanger into this layer. These all get folded away from you on the dotted line. And on the outside, we apply 2 little pieces of score tape to each corner. These corners will be visible, so you want to do a nice job of getting the score tape placed so it will not show. The hanger gets folded on the dotted fold line. 2 strips of score tape get placed along here. This will get adhered inside like that. Peel the score tape. Position this so it is right in the center. Press in place. Okay, the cover is now going to get placed over the white frame here. I am going to put score tape about 3/16 of an inch in on each of these sides. And I'm also going to apply 3 inches of score tape along the back edge of all 4 sides. These 4 you can peel. Take your black cover, carefully get it into place. All 4 corners. Make sure your branch is not caught. Slide it down. It is a close fit. And adhere into place. Turn it over, being careful to watch out for that branch. Take your tweezers. Find the score tape backing, peel it off, and attach. Repeat on all 4 sides. There we go. One last step is we need to apply some glue dots to hold this in place and just make it a little stronger. Again, it might be smart here if you used glue dots that have been cut in half because there's really not a lot of space there. I'm going to put a little glue dot right here on the back. Peel it off. Find my position and adhere. You may fold a few of the leaves to give them just a little bit more dimension. There, you have completed the Springtime Robin shadow box. This example is using watercolor wash paper, but I've taken these same files and put them together with different papers and made some very different effects. I have used some colored paper, black silhouetted against a brilliant sky. And I have also done the same kind of thing with a few more leaves against a yellow sky. Very effective, different techniques, all with the same file. What are you going to do? Thanks for watching my tutorial. This is Margie Roy from 3dcuts.com. Happy crafting, everyone.